The moment we're born, we seek connection. As we release our first breath, it passes through our voice box, marking our introduction to the world and asking, "Can you hear me? Can you see me?" This first sound, unique as a fingerprint, announces our place in the world. But as time passes, the noise of life tends to drown our voices out until we can't hear ourselves over the cacophony of rush hour traffic, bills, taxes, doubts, demands, or that one drip coming from the bathroom faucet. We can't hear ourselves over the noise, and consequently, we can't hear each other. Finding your voice is like navigating a labyrinth. Every twist, turn, challenge, and glimmer of hope brings you closer to its center. It takes serious effort to uncover your voice, but once you find it, after it's marinated in life, you have an opportunity to take all that noise and make music. In this episode, we explore the meaning of voice, its connection to purpose, and its power to inspire change. So, today, we're exploring the sounds of inspiration.
You're listening to
Sounds
of the Sidewalk.
One day, when the glory comes, it will be ours. It will be ours. Oh, one day, when the war is won, we will be sure. We will be sure. Oh, glory. 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 Oh.
That powerful voice you just heard is Phyllis. And the lyrics of this song, Glory, feel like a call to action, inspiring us to push forward. As longtime choir members and friends, we knew both Phyllis and our dear friend Dee Dee would be perfect to have a conversation about exactly this. And when we think of inspiring voices, this name, no matter where you are in the world, stands out. Martin Luther King Jr. His voice and principles, forged through countless trials, heartbreaks, and hopes, inspired the very mission of Voices of our City Choir. So it feels important to note that the interview you're about to hear was recorded around the same time the choir shared a stage with Dr. Bernice King, MLK's youngest daughter. Both Dr. King and the choir were there to inspire and reignite the hope essential for continuing the fight for a better world, a better San Diego. Enrique and Naileni sat down to hear how Phyllis and Dee Dee have supported each other as they've discovered just how powerful their voices are. I'm excited for you to hear this. Let's dive in.
Welcome, everybody, to Sounds of the Sidewalk podcast. My name is Enrique.
Hi, everybody. My name is Naileni Castillo.
I'm DeForest Hancock, a.k.a. Dee Dee.
Dee Dee's in the house.
Hi, my name is Phyllis Davis.
Phyllis Davis, well, welcome to both of you. Today we'll be talking about inspiration and just like the different times in our lives that we've been inspired. What inspired you guys in the times that you were unsheltered? Like, what were the things that inspired you to do the things that were necessary to get housed or to get sheltered? And what inspired you to get through navigating through the housing system?
Well, it's kind of interesting, just to think about that question, because I entered my homeless journey following termination of employment and losing my home of 8 years as a single mom, along with an investment property. And all within a year later after the termination, my mother passing away. And having to deal with all that and all those losses, Interesting that I survived it, but with all the losses, it was so much, I stopped to think about how am I going to handle all this? And so as I lost things, I said, wow, how was I going to deal with all that? If I hadn't lost it, I would have to deal with all that,
Yeah.
And then I put things in storage. They don't even make furniture like this anymore. And, and then I lost the storages. I said, oh, what was I going to do with all that stuff?
Yeah.
Starting over, So the odd thing is that I accepted it as my purpose because I was coming from a large nonprofit agency. And I knew how nonprofits work. And my son, he was taken care of, so he didn't have to be. He wasn't homeless.
Yeah.
As long as he was good, I was good,
Yeah.
So
Right.
that helped me give me a foot up as far as navigating it and accepting it as my purpose. And so the downside is when I got into the shelters, I learned that I wanted to help the service providers. And I said, I know how they work, so I can help. Now I'm homeless, now I can help them. First thing I learned is that no one really cared. You were there. And I was to apply for Section 8. And they said, oh, it was 2009. And I said, they told me it was like 6 to 8 years waiting list. I said, oh, no, I just need an attorney, right?
Yeah.
So, and I said, no, no, if you want to be in the program, you will apply for Section 8. That was the first enlightenment that they didn't care. It didn't ask why I was homeless or how I became homeless or anything like that. It was just I was there. And I know we were all different, coming in different spaces. And so it told me, now I understand why people who are on Section 8 say that, oh, I can't get that job, or you have to pay me on their table because I don't want to lose my Section 8.
Right.
And so I said, wow, that's conditioning.
It really
Yeah.
is.
So now you have to be at poverty level to qualify.
Right.
And then you have to stay at poverty level to keep it. So
Anything like you start making extra, and then they're like, "Oh, we can take it away." Like,
things getting worse, different things, you lose
And
this
it
program
keeps
and
you
how
going.
and keeps you down. So, but I was inspired to make a difference, to speak the truth.
that's right.
And so,
And keep you going because it's such a big motivation that I think throughout the years has transformed the way that it keeps you going. Maybe inspiration in that moment was, I want to make change, but what are the steps that you got to take
right.
for you to
right,
be able to make the difference and make your voice heard, essentially?
right. And my main thing at that point was that I knowing that most of the people around me, I was comfortable with them.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to, my inspiration was to help, kind of like help them understand and help them navigate,
Right.
because a lot of, homelessness can just you could be lost as far as your mindset.
How many years was it that before you got rehoused? And
I was homeless 2009 to 2016, 7 years.
7 years. Yeah.
And I've shared my life number is 7. And so 7 years homeless. And this past September, it was 7 years in my studio apartment.
That's
So
right.
it's all in. February 22nd, my last birthday, 70.
It's all connected.
It's all
7.
7 is a lucky number.
Yeah, it is.
How about you, Phyllis? What was your experience, and how did you inspire to move out of that?
Okay, my experience was I was married. I have 3 sons, but I was married at the time, and what was going on is that my husband, he transitioned on me. So he went to live his life, which left me and the boys. The oldest one wasn't there, but I did have the 2. And my youngest one, after 2 years, we had moved into this place, so he was inspired to go into the Marines. My spouse, I'm gonna call him my spouse,
Yeah.
because I had to remarry him for a reason. But anyway, what happened was that he went into the baby went into the Marines, and then I wound up taking my spouse went to Arizona, Tucson, Arizona. So I was having some problems with them. I have lived in it wasn't the streets, it was like in my car until I ran up, I met this person. Well, I didn't meet her, I knew her for it, and I was trying to go over there to see if she would take me in, but she had told me about Rachel's.
Right.
I went to that next day, I went to Rachel's, got in, and I stayed at Rachel's for, I think it was like maybe 6 months. And they finally told us a lot of us had to get out because we was there for so long.
Yeah.
And they was giving us the opportunity. But in the meantime, 2018, I had already put in an application where I'm staying at now. And I knew it was going to take, they told me it was going to take about 2 years. Okay. So I went to Rachel's, and then I wind up going, driving to Dreams for Change. Because after I got out, I had to, sleep somewhere. So I was sleeping in my car. But then again, I was going over my son's house. Well, I'm not going to say my son's apartment, just to take a shower because I didn't know where to take a shower at. I was going, leaving, and coming back, getting back in the car. I wind up sleeping at my storage. I was in the car. The manager there, the owner there, he knows my car, so he knew I was okay there. But anyway, I decided to go back to serving seniors. I was going there, and I saw this on one of the monitors, transitional housing for seniors. So I went through the program, and they told me, "Oh, you're qualified." I said, "Oh, wow." So it was the first time, and by me going through what I was going through, I didn't get their first telephone call telling me that I was accepted. They found a place, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I said, "Oh my goodness." So I was upset, stayed out another year, and I did it again. I had one of our neighbors, Dee Dee knows her, encouraged me. She said, if you don't apply again, I'm gonna get you. I said, okay. So I applied again. I said, I have to do this because I didn't like the way everything was going down at serving seniors.
Yeah.
But the program is, once you apply, you have to call 3 times out of a week. And it's just a recording. So every time you call for 20 weeks, every time you call, you move up. You move up.
Mm-hmm.
So that first time, they said I missed one week, one another week, and then I missed them calling me. So I said, oh no, got to start this all over again. I don't want to do this all over again, so I did anyway. But in the meantime, I had my name at where I'm staying at already. And it was a connection, which I didn't know. Because at first they put you in a temporary room. So I did like 4 weeks, but they give you the opportunity to save your deposit. The last month, I think it was like the 4th month where I stayed there. The last month, the 4th month, it was January, and they had went up on the rent for that place at the time. I said, oh no. I was lucky. I had enough. I didn't have to, because they went up to $500. They wanted you to save $400, but I put in $450, so it came in handy with the rent. So I only had to do that 3 times, but I did have enough to. What they do, you get a money order and give it to them. They'll save it until you're ready to move into an apartment. In the meantime, I met Dee Dee in the choir, and she was telling me her and our friend, about that place. Dee Dee brought me over to her, to that place. And I said, oh man, this is nice. And that just took the cake. When they called me, I said, oh my goodness, I don't want to be homeless again.
So around what time did you and Dee Dee meet?
We met in the choir.
And
I joined the choir, I think, in 2018 or 19. She had already been there.
so you both went to America's Got Talent. For you, how was that experience?
It was an amazing experience, and it's crazy how looking at the show, how many times my mug is on there. When you look at it, you'll see.
Yeah.
There's, oh wow, and then and special shots where I think it was Lorna and Irma and I, when we could see that he was about to hit the golden buzzer, and we're all.
How was that? How was that? Because I've heard that because I I was doing the first podcast and I put that moment in. But what was the feeling when you heard the actual gold buzzard and the golden flakes are falling from the sky like the confetti?
Everybody was just kind of like, wow, and you know how Patricia
She just fell.
fell out of her
Yeah.
chair.
Yeah.
Like amazed and all that, and everybody was just, everybody was cheering, and I'm just kind of looking around and just picking up the golden.
Yeah.
So it was just,
I got one of those right here.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It was an amazing experience. It was.
Yeah. Now for me, oh wow, I wasn't. You couldn't see me that well. I mean, because where I was standing at, I was standing on the edge, on the left side, but you couldn't see me that well. But it did get a glance.
Maybe not a close up, but there was a glance.
But did you do a solo on one of the songs? Or?
No, it wasn't a solo. We sung. It was 7 of us on the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah, on Heroes.
Right.
And when Steph asked us, I had never heard that song. I never heard it. So we had to learn it. We learned that song there
Oh
at
wow.
America's Got Talent. We was there for 10 days and we learned that song there. And it was something because it was all 7 of us sitting in a circle and we were singing our parts, in one of the rehearsal rooms, and they wanted us to get it just right. I said, oh my goodness, this is something way different.
Show business, huh?
Yes. And the thing about it, you couldn't go outside.
Oh, man, gee. They had you guys on lockdown?
Well, it was during the pandemic, so
So it was extra lockdown.
yeah, extra, yeah. And it was amazing how we couldn't go outside. The driveway, I think it was at the Hilton, wasn't it at the Hilton or something like that? I said, oh my God.
Universal Studios.
Yeah.
It's actually the taping was at Universal
Yeah.
Studios.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but where we had to take the tram, the buses over to the studio. And then it's funny because our area was upstairs from the voice, from the
Oh, yeah, the show.
yeah,
The show,
Yeah.
The Voice? Yeah.
There's
Okay.
downstairs, and then they don't have any elevators. So me and Willie, we always race climbing those steps.
Yeah.
So, but it was so funny. But it was just the idea of us being on that show, and like I said, on Heroes, that was the last one. So, like I said, it was 7 of us on the stage, but it seemed like it was a whole choir, the way how they had that set up. It was unbelievable.
Wow.
And the main thing is that remember that we had in our audition, we had the live audience,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
and so I think it was like maybe the next week or whatever.
Yeah.
Those who were auditioning were just with the judges,
Uh-huh.
or they were sending in tapes.
Oh,
Their
wow.
auditions,
Yeah.
that made a big difference, And I was fortunate enough to be in the first
second.
quarterfinal.
Right.
There
Yeah,
were
the
four
second
of us,
Yeah.
and I'm told that was the first time that America's Got Talent used the technology to have the holograms.
Oh, yeah.
Holograms.
They have
The hologram, and so with the choir being in the studio, single
Yeah.
recorded, and then having that pictures, and we're up on this big platform and everything like that, and it was just amazing as far as the experience of how did you do that? How did that happen? And the choir appeared to be right behind us, singing, and all that, and the special capture of the.
I need to tell you guys about that. That is so hilarious. When it was Dee Dee's turn to sing her song, Stand By Me. Now,
Right.
we had the opportunity to vote, right? And they told us, don't forget to vote, don't forget to vote. I said, okay. Now, what happened was that it was like 9 monitors behind them.
Right.
But we're not on stage. I'm sitting at home, okay?
Right.
They gave us a little laptop so we can Zoom this, right? Now here I am. I'm getting all set up. Oh, look at! I had on their outfit. What they gave, they gave us outfit because they had 9 people being like behind them, supporting them on the monitor. So we're actually like on AGT too.
Right.
But we're sitting at home, okay?
Yeah.
Now, a friend of mine, Beck, why did they do that at home? I'm sitting up here. Number one, my speaker went out. And I couldn't hear nothing. They couldn't hear me. I said, okay, I'm going to look at the background and look at these people on their reaction. So I had to react too because I'm back there too. I'm at the,
Show too, so.
yeah, I was part of it. So I had to act like I heard everything what was going on, which I didn't. But what made it so funny is that Beck showed me. She said, Phyllis, I'm at home. She said, Phyllis, you went to sleep. I said, no, I didn't. She took her phone out and she kept that. It was so funny. I was, because since I couldn't hear, I was dozing off. I'm on America's Got Talent. I'm dozing
Asleep.
off. Yes. And
Wake up, you be like,
I've heard this story before.
But thankfully, everything is
Edited?
recorded and edited and all that,
they edited.
And so,
I still can't believe it.
Imagine if it was live.
we had, they were like in the boxes, because
Yeah.
like they were there
Yeah.
watching us, right?
Yeah.
Suppose they were watching us.
Yes.
And there was one take where, Phyllis was just out.
Lights out.
I'm sitting up there and my lips falling over. I said, no, you didn't take that. No, they didn't put that on the music. They edited it out. I said, oh God, they did. They had to because I didn't see it when we saw it.
Can't believe it.
I said, that is messed up. Yeah.
Especially from when they first saw you guys had people crying in the audience.
Right.
Everybody was so emotional, so inspired by you guys. Next episode, Phyllis is sleeping on screen on America's Got Talent.
They edited it out.
They took it out. They took it out.
But I said, no.
It's somewhere in the archives, though. Somebody got.
somewhere.
Beck has Beck has the evidence.
Yes. Somebody got that video. I said, oh Lord, I hope it didn't show. I hope they took it out. I hope they could have taken it out. Because I went to sleep. I had they had on blue, so I had on my little blue blouse and, what they gave me and stuff. I'm sitting up there trying to be, cute. And my hair go down. I went to sleep. I said, no, I didn't. Yes, you did. She said, Beck said.
Living proof.
Yeah.
All the roots of songs are coming out right now. Roots of acting, roots of songs. Like that's where Living Proof started. Okay.
Yeah, we should have said something. Living.
So both of you are original members, right? You guys have been part of the choir for a while. What does it mean to you to go out there and lift your voice for others?
Well, for me, I think I came in maybe a year after, and I was housed, so I was no longer homeless, and I happened to be still active, running around and stuff. But I was on a trolley downtown, and I heard this lady get on, on the trolley, and she saw a friend, and she said, "Oh, I'm planning a birthday party, but girl, let me tell you, the choir, we opened for Patti LaBelle." Woo. And I'm up there. Wow. What? I missed that concert? I know that. How did I miss that? I'm talking to myself. How did I miss Patty's concert?
Yeah.
Because there's south of Embarcadero, which now the Shell,
Yeah.
But you could sit out in the, so.
She's an icon.
And I knew, and so I said, "Oh my God, I missed a trumpet." And she started saying, "The choir, it's just inspirational, it's we're supporting the homeless people and all that, and it's not gospel, but it's jazz, and it's just uplifting, and everything like that." I'm thinking, wow, I need to learn about this choir. And so I had planned, so when I get off, I'm gonna let this lady know,
Yeah.
So we happened to be getting off at 5th. And I told her, I said, "Look, I heard everything you said, so I want to know about the choir."
Right.
And so we got off, and she was telling me about it. She said, "Well, every Friday, at Living Water Church,
Right.
16th." And I'm thinking, 16th and Market? There's no church on 16th and Market, because it's been 2 years since I've been, so I went. She ended up not going, but I went that Friday and walked in and was welcomed, and everything like that. So this is cool. And they were asking me who invited me. I said, "I met this lady on the trolley." And I said, "She's not here, but," and they said, "Well, who?" She said she was like a case manager. It was
Veronica Loving.
Veronica Loving,
That's right.
So that's what it was, and from that moment on, and somehow, I don't know how it worked, but I didn't know anything about you had to be at rehearsal, come to choir a couple of times.
Yeah.
Because that day, Beck said, "Oh, we're having this Friday. Tomorrow we're going to be at such and such." I think it was not too far, and everything like that. And she said, "I'll give you a T-shirt."
Right.
Okay.
Honorary member, huh?
Immediately, and then all of a sudden, it was that next day, and then at that performance, they were saying, "Oh, Wednesday, we're going to be such a," I said, "Oh, okay." And so it showed up, and by the next rehearsal, my second rehearsal, Nina, she asked me, she said, "Were you with us when we went to the," I said, "No, this is my first week."
Yeah.
"Oh, it's like you've been here forever." I said, "Wow." So it was like a natural, organic, experience.
Did you get to sing with the icon?
No, I wasn't. I was like there a year later.
Yeah.
Okay.
A year
So
later.
you came first and then Phyllis?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What happened was that in the shelter, and who was in the shelter with me? I was so excited. She comes down to Rachel. "Oh, Phyllis, you need to go to this rehearsal. You need to be in this choir." So I kept putting it off. Yeah, right. And she said, "Is that a church?" I said, "Well, I'm not. I don't want to sing church music." She said, "It's not church music." She said, "You need to go." So here I am. I'm, going by my business. She told me when to come. She told me what time. So I was on my way back to Rachel's one afternoon, and I wasn't going back there, although they had lunch at 5:30 or something like that. So no, they had lunch at in the afternoon. So I happened to just go in there and I saw Steph Johnson. She was on the courtyard. She was in the back. I said, I said, okay, I just missed her, you know. But I talked to her. I said, oh, you're the lady that Isle is raging about at Rachel's. She's just going on and on and on. And she said, yeah. So she gave me her address on a piece of paper. She didn't have a card at the time. So she gave me the address and where to go. Yeah, come show up here. Come show up there. I said, okay. I showed up. You talking about overwhelmed. I said, oh my God, this girl, she is really rocking it. So I said, oh, I got to get in this choir. Oh, wow. She passed out this clipboard, but she had this sheet music. I think it was in a book, but she had this sheet music. And I said, she said, what I want you to do is write down, put your name down, and if you want to be a soloist, write down the song you want to sing. She said, Phyllis, pick out your song. So I picked out Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Oh, that's my song.
It takes a whole different meaning.
Yeah.
Now when I
Historical
hear it,
facts.
Yes.
sing the song.
Yeah. I said to myself, I said, look, I said, that's my song. So I got up there and I sung that song. I mean, everybody, it was like a standing ovation because they wasn't expecting that.
So I got a question for Dee Dee. When did your musical, what brought you into singing?
Well, growing up in the church, I would be in choirs, and actually I was playing the piano. That's long gone now. I'm not one you may have noticed. Who wants to sing? I don't raise my hand.
Right.
I just don't.
Easy there, Phyllis.
She knows it's true. She knows it's true. And so there was a time when Steph, she said that she wanted to, for the choir to sing Stand By Me. And so she said, I want Dee Dee to lead this. So somehow Steph has an ear, I guess, even though I'm not trying to stand out or whatever, but somehow she hears it and she can match a voice to a song. I looked it up, I pulled it up, Google. And so I started, listening to the lead on that, and I mirrored after that. That was my introduction to singing a solo.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I like it.
I think
I
you
like
both
it.
do a beautiful job of doing
excellent
solo
job.
stuff.
Yeah.
I get inspired when I hear you guys.
I do too, but it's a different type of inspired because I really enjoy do spoken word pieces because I really do feel that they come from the heart. Like they are so passionate and you feel every word that you say. Like you feel passion. And then when I hear you, Phyllis, sing, I just feel overjoyed. Like you have such a nice voice that I enjoy listening to you sing. That I get lost as well in it. It's different. Like it inspires me in different ways, and it really motivates me. Like I always look forward to hearing you guys sing. Honestly, I really do. And I was just about to ask you, to talk a little bit more about your advocacy and how that's looked like, because you were mentioning it at the beginning.
My personal goal and vision is to create OPP, which is Ordinary People Power. That's OPP. And it's OPP, Ordinary People Power. When ordinary people stand up, unite, and claim their power, they no longer will have the desire or need for other people's property. We know OPP, we know the rhythm.
Yeah.
Other people's property, right?
Yeah.
We would not, right. So
Had to throw it in there
we
real
not
quick.
have desire for other people's property. Thereby, more importantly, they will no longer themselves be other people's property. We are all naughty by nature because of the sin within. But when we surrender our sinful nature to the greater power, we become ordinary people with the greatest power. The power within ordinary people equals potential plus prosperity plus purpose.
Yeah,
I
nice.
love that.
Purpose.
It's
That's beautiful.
OPP coming soon. I believe we're all ordinary people living out the scripts of our lives.
and I love that. You bring the inspiration to people, especially when you speak out in crowds, tell your story, people listen.
It's I give credit to actually my journey, my homeless journey, is what introduced me to the need, you know, for those who are experiencing homelessness, and because of the way I entered my homelessness, which is different, accepting it as my purpose, that gave me a clear mind that my reality is that I'm an only child. My parents are gone. I had my only son at 40, and so he just turned 29. So he's the age that he could be my grandson. Honestly,
Yeah.
and my son being taken care of, or being not being homeless. I feel that it gave me a space where I was around people, because honestly, I would rather, and I've shared, I would rather be in a homeless shelter with people all around me than live in a mansion alone. So it's like being alone a lot. And that's why I accepted, oh, this is my purpose now. I'm around people and I'm being a listener. I can see the people that are having problems, and they're being, basically mistreated because they don't have anything to say or power to say, or to be heard. Then that's how I took it up. Okay, I can be a voice because I can see everything. I don't have any. I'm not triggered by anything. I'm just seeing everything, and then that's what built. Oh wow, I can be a voice for them. I have no fear. And now being a senior, I can go to city council and speak that it's about win-win solutions, and I want to see San Diego be America's finest city. And then that would be, through win-win solutions, everybody would win, right?
Right.
And just speaking that, and is that the truth is that homelessness in this day and time is an industry.
Yeah.
It's an industry, bottom line, and so when you write these 100-page drafts of plans to end homelessness, why would you ever end something that would put you out of business?
Right. Yeah.
So, just reality, truth to power, right?
Right,
Yeah,
right.
truth to power. And so, just this journey is what didn't plan, wasn't my choice, but it's just, my path, and
Right.
how, I don't have a
It's
problem.
positive.
It's positive because just speaking the truth,
So, what inspires you the most? This is a question for both of you in your lives, and what do you hope to inspire in others?
To don't be afraid to do what you can do. Dee Dee has inspired me. She'll get on my case, and sometimes she don't want to listen, and she'll cut me off in a minute. Okay, because I share things with her because I listen to what she says all the time, and that girl has a lot of knowledge. The choir inspires me. I'm doing something for me, and this is my joy.
What inspires me is being received and being comfortable and being around people. Being here in the choir and is kind of like the foundation for me, to be a part of a group that's receptive. And then at the same time, those who are not being heard, I'm a listener for them.
Right.
And so that motivates me to know that I can be there for someone who doesn't feel like they are being heard, but they know I'm listening to them, and that's what's kind of carried me as far as becoming an advocate and having the courage to stand face to face, and say this is not right or this is what needs to be done.
Right.
I was actually 2015. Basically, my last true shelter was the Y,
Mm-hmm.
and they wanted to. Actually, they did. I don't want to put me out because I was speaking up for someone, and that they didn't want to address the issue. So the answer was to just put me out, evict
Right.
me. And so, surprise, surprise, I answered. I went to court
Yeah.
with them, and the average person in the shelter would not do that. They would just
Right.
give up and say, "Oh no, now I'm going to start over," everything like that. But I'm not the one.
Right.
So we went to we went to court, and the next thing I knew is their attorney was saying, "Oh well, we really don't want to waste the court's time. Just how long? We just want the key. What do you think?" And so I added 30 days,
Right.
30 days, and I picked January 3rd, and they didn't know it was like 30 days out. It was my heavenly birthday was
Right.
January 3rd. And so just knowing that many people who are homeless are in the shelters, they don't have a voice, but they can trust me to speak
Right.
for them. So that inspires me.
So, Dr. Martin Luther King, how does it feel to be able to meet in person or be able to sing, lifting up your voices for others who might not be able to lift their voice? How does it feel to be, to be able to go and sing a song for Ms.
It
Berniski?
means it's like just a natural evolution for me because I'll just read. Time to read this?
Yeah.
Okay, this is, I was homeless from 2009 to 2016. So 2 years prior to the end of my journey, I wrote this, and it's the Dream 2014. Standing on the foundation of faith, I have the audacity to dream and believe that all people are created equal, contrary to the false universally perceived differences. I have a dream. I dream that in my lifetime, I will witness the end of poverty and homelessness. I dream that every person, young and old, will embrace the truth of their self-worth, regardless to society's judgment of their net worth. I dream that all people of different religions, faiths, and beliefs realize that each have a piece of the truth, and each represent a patch in the quilt of our existence, which can only be sewn together by the strong thread of our diversity. I dream that in my lifetime, every person of African descent in America will become self-sufficient, which means zero on welfare. I dream that the Black man in America would rediscover, reclaim, and restore all that are created or invented, patented, and given to America to make it beautiful today. I dream that this truth, which is written and self-evident, is a beacon of light to the world as history is uncovered, and that this history of truth will be perceived by all generations until the end of time. Therefore, let welfare be the legacy of those who created it. I have a dream that all people will find rest and peace on earth in their lifetime. Thank you, Dr. Martin Luther King, for having the audacity to dream.
Wow. That's just so powerful.
That is. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand on.
So, I just want to say thank you for coming to this interview and for being open and for sharing with us and for inspiring us and for, for lifting up your voice for others.
Thank you so much for listening to Sounds of the Sidewalk. The people you heard from today are members of Voices of Our City, a creative community for people impacted by homelessness. Your generous support helps our community find joy and healing and provides a safe environment in which they can freely express themselves. Every rating, review, and follow helps us reach more people. Together, we amplify the voices of our city. Special thanks to the Conrad Previs Foundation, Studio West, and donations from supporters like you. To learn more, visit voicesofourcity.org today.